how to get audiobooks for free on today's episode.
Today's episode is brought to you by SEMrush, started in 2008 with one mission: to make online competition fair and transparent, with equal opportunities for all. To find out how SEMrush can help you compete with the big boys, go to servenomaster.com/SEMrush today.
Are you tired of dealing with your boss? Do you feel underpaid and underappreciated? If you want to make it online, fire your boss and start living your retirement dreams now, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to Serve No Master Podcast, where you'll learn how to open new revenue streams and make money while you sleep. Presented live from a tropical island in the South Pacific by best-selling author Jonathan Green. Now, here's your host.
With the damage to my vision, my options for absorbing books, for pulling that content into my body have changed. I can still read books on my Kindle, which is awesome, but some days my eyes are so tired, I just want to rest them. I want to put on a mask or cover my eyes and really just give them some time to reset to neutral, which really helps them heal. I've noticed that a lot of people who consume my books and content prefer audio formats. That's why every course comes with MP3 versions of every single lesson. All of my books have audiobook format. In fact, my latest book, 20K Day, which just went live this week on Amazon, it's still in that early kind of pre-launch phase where I'm just showing it with my internal audience. It's already up for auditions for the audiobook reader. I want the narrator on the case as quickly as possible. That's one of the first things I like to get taken care of in one of my books, because I know it's so important to absorb content that way. Now, if you want a free copy of any of my books, you can always get the audiobook version free when you join Audible. And I have those special links for each of my books available below this episode and on their individual book pages. So you can always grab the audiobook version for free. I'm happy for you to do that. But what I want to share today is something even better. I've been researching ways to get into the audiobook game, and I looked at the Audible thing, and it's okay. We only get 1 or 2 books a month, and with how much I consume, I'm not sure that's enough. I said, there's got to be a better way. There always has to be another option, and I began to do some research, remembering that public libraries often have loads of audiobooks. I'm a big library fan. Everywhere I've lived, I always immediately join the library and just begin to tear through all of the content. And almost all public libraries in America are run by the same platform called Overdrive. This is a software platform. It's also an app for all your smartphones and your computer and all your devices. And this particular app manages audiobooks in the same way that my Kindle manages my ebooks. So with this app, I can fill up a library with up to 10 books inside my phone that I can listen to at my leisure. In fact, this morning, before recording this, I just listened to the prologue to the book, The Last Ship. Me and my wife watched the show for a couple of seasons. As with anything, over time we had less time to watch it, but we enjoyed the first season and a half or 2 seasons of that show. And I thought, oh, this is a book that I'd love to listen to. Let's try it out. To make Overdrive work, you need 2 things. You need the app and then you need a library card. So join your local library. Almost every local library is free, no matter where you live. I've never had to pay a membership fee. And when you join the local library, it connects all the audiobooks your local library has with your app. And so when you do a search, it will show you all the books that are available in your library. Now, some things are interesting because there are books that are out. It'll say, oh, all the books have been rented, or whatever the term is, I forget what they call it when you take a book from the library checked out. And it's interesting because I know it's just a digital file. You can do it unlimited times, but what they're trying to create in this microcosm is an artificial library universe where your library card determines which library you have access to, determines which books you have access to. So there are tons of books on Overdrive that I don't have access to. My particular library has about 10,000 audiobooks in it, which is certainly more than I could listen to in a lifetime, but they're not all ones I want to listen to. Plenty of them are books I've already read, or they're genres that I don't read. So you join your local library, you input your card number. You do this like digital login thing once on Overdrive. I'll be honest, the first time you set up Overdrive, it's terrible. It's really confusing. It took me almost an hour to get it working. You have to log in a certain way, then register, then log into your local library a different way. It's all rather convoluted, unfortunately. You can totally tell that it's a program that only works with the government. It's certainly something that no private organization could ever succeed with. But remember, You get everything for free once you get it set up. Now, if you don't have a local library, if you're like me and you're living internationally or you're living in another country, you can join certain libraries in America for very low fees. I looked at the library where my family lives. And for just $250 a year, you can remember the library if you don't live in the area. And I thought, that's ridiculous. So I did more research and I found that Fairfax, Virginia library charges you $27 a year, which is very reasonable. It's about $2 a month, a little more than that. Totally worth it. So I signed up for their library card on Sunday. They sent me an email 2 or 3 days later saying once you pay the $27, your account becomes activated. They sent me all my login details, username and password, and immediately I was able to start using Overdrive with 10,000 audiobooks. So for $27 a year, I get access to all I can listen to. And once I see books that I like, I click download, I add them to my bookshelf, and I can have up to 10 books, just like on my Kindle, so I can have 10 audiobooks. I just have to wait for them to download. The files are much larger than Kindle files, of course, because it's audio file, they're big. Each chapter is bigger than a single podcast episode from me. While this file is downloading, I can do more research and mark other books that I want to read later on or things like that. I don't even have 10 books that I clicked. Each book you get for 21 days, at least when you check out from my particular library. So 21 days to listen to each of these audiobooks, and some of them are quite long. Most audiobooks are anywhere from 8 to 20 hours. If you get a Stephen King book, it might be 50 hours. So it's more than enough content to keep me happy. I think I chose 5 or 6 books and only half of them have downloaded yet. And this is really a great resource that I recommend. I think it's very valuable. So yes, it's a way you can get access to loads of books. Now here's where we can help each other. You can request books that they don't have. If you go in there and you see that they don't have one of my books, which they probably don't, not a lot of libraries are carrying Serve No Master books yet, you can request it. So when you log into Overdrive and you're looking at your library, just type in Serve No Master or Breaking Orbit or 20K a day, and you can find my book in their directory and just click request. Say, I want my library to have it. You can go to your local library in person and make a request that they keep a copy of my physical book there. All of these things are gold for me, very valuable to me. And I would love to have my books and audiobooks in every single library in America and all of the world, and I'd gladly do it for free if I knew how to do that. I want to get my message out there, my content out there. I'm happy to share it with people. I'm a believer in libraries, so I'm happy to put all of my content out there. The way to start that process is for you to simply request it. That's all you have to do. And if enough people request it from your library, enough people request it from every library, then eventually you can get all my books for free in your local library. So this is actually a way for you to get my content for free, which I'm happy for. I love giving away stuff. And this is a win-win because, of course, the library pays a cool fee to the printing platform, so I'm covered there. I already have my paperback versions set up to go to libraries and academic institutions. Anyone who wants my books gets access to them. So anywhere you want to absorb my content, it's out there. So it's a little bit of benefit for you. You can get unlimited free audiobooks, a little bit for me if you get my books put into those platforms. I'm happy to do it. I would love to have my audiobooks on every single platform in the world and available to more and more people. So again, the simple process is you go to your local library, you get yourself a library card if you don't have one. Make sure you get their online information. Say, I need a username and password so I can use this online. Once you have your username and password to log into their website, it's the same username and password you'll use inside of Overdrive once you register for Overdrive. So the sweet little app lets you download up to 10 audiobooks at a time. Unfortunately, not every single audiobook in the world is in there. There are tons of audiobooks that Audible has that this app doesn't have. But if you're looking to consume a lot of content and you love listening to audiobooks, this is a great way to save yourself some money. It's a great way to get loads of awesome content. And I'm a big believer in audiobooks. I'm a big believer in getting maximum value for minimum expense. So even though, yes, every single person who follows me could buy the audiobook version of my book, and I'd love that, I'm just as happy for you all to request that libraries carry my books and get the message out there as well. So your homework for today is whatever type of phone you use, smartphone, iPhone, Samsung, Android, maybe you even have that new BlackBerry that they just came out with, fine. Download that Overdrive app and begin the process of getting access to unlimited free audiobooks. It's a really awesome step you can take, and it's exactly how I enjoy free audiobooks every single day.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Serve No Master. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss another episode. We'll be back tomorrow with more tips and tactics on how to escape that rat race. Head over to servenomaster.com/podcasts now for your chance to win a free copy of Jonathan's bestseller, Serve No Master. All you have to do is leave a 5-star review of this podcast. See you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the Serve No Master podcast. Head over to servenomaster.com/podcasts right now to find out how you can win a free copy of my brand new book.